Hey everyone, we got some big good news for Plug Power stock investors today that sent the stock price soaring as much as 20% after the reports came out. So there was two big news items that came out today. I'm going to go over each one of those and I'm going to answer which one is having the bigger increase in the stock price or which one is causing the stock price increase. And you might be surprised at the factor that's causing Plug Power stock price to increase out of the two big news items. So let's jump right in. Let's look at these two news items and what it means for Plug Power stock investors.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
All right, so the first big news item from Plug Power was that the plant that they're building out in Georgia is up and ready. It starts production of liquid green energy at the Georgia plant. Investors were waiting for this. It was first speculated that it was going to come online in the fourth quarter before the end of 2023. It's late, but it's up and running, and that's great news for Plug Power stock investors. The plant is designed to produce 15 tons per day of liquid electrolytic hydrogen, enough to power approximately 15,000 forklifts per day through eight 5 megawatt PEM electrolyzers. And this is great news because Plug Power, its revenue minus cost of goods sold was negative. It was operating at a significant loss because it was paying more for green hydrogen than it was charging its customers. Management said that it plans to decrease the cost of production, the cost of green hydrogen, as it increases its own production and stops buying it from third-party providers. So this is a step in the right direction, although Plug Power has a long way to go before the company is generating profitability, even in the gross profit line item here. You can see in the company's latest quarterly statement that its net revenue came in at 198.7 million, while its total cost of revenue came in at 336.6 million. So the big issue here is the cost of revenue for Plug Power. If this new plant can absorb some of its customer demand, thereby decreasing its cost of revenue percentage wise, it can make a big dent into its profit margin and make progress towards becoming gross profit margin positive. Now, while that did play a factor in increasing Plug Power's stock price, you can see before the news came out today, Plug Power is trading at around $2.75 per share. It exploded as high as $3.60 per share before coming back down to $3.32 per share as of this recording, which is still higher than where it started out during the day. But there was another big news item that came out today, and that was that Plug Power jumps on a government loan opportunity as it started its liquid green hydrogen production. The hydrogen fuel cell company said it finalized the term sheet negotiation with the U.S. Department of Energy for a $1.6 billion loan facility. That's huge, and I think that's the bigger factor in raising Plug Power's stock price because the company is losing so much money on the bottom line. It's losing so much cash so quickly that in the most recent quarter, management told investors that their ability to stay alive is at risk. They might go out of business. Like that's a significant risk for Plug Power. And so with this loan, that's a lifeline. That gives Plug Power more time to achieve more milestones. And with each milestone that it achieves, it makes it easier for Plug Power to raise capital because investors looking at the company after it makes these milestones can say, oh, it's only 2 steps away from achieving profitability, or it's only 3 steps away. And so the closer it gets, the more investor confidence builds and the easier it'll be for Plug Power to raise money. And that's why I think this announcement played a bigger role in increasing Plug Power's stock price because this is a bigger benefit to the company. This is better for the company's survivability than getting that hydrogen plant going. That was already expected to happen, whether it happened in January or February or March. It was going to happen. It was almost completed. It was almost ready to produce. Whereas this government loan, this was more of a question mark. This is more of a question mark, and even more so a question mark because its business was struggling so much. The government does not want to dole out billions of dollars to a company that might go out of business. That would not look good on the government. They would get some pressure from outsiders looking in and saying, why would you provide $1 billion to this company that's going to go out of business anyway? Couldn't you see that they were going out of business? Couldn't you see how much money they were losing on the bottom line? That's all publicly available information. Even the management team told the investors that they're going to go out of business or they're at risk of going out of business. Why would you give them money? And so that was a question mark. And now with this term sheet being finalized, that's a big, big concern relief for Plug Power stock investors. And you can see here I've highlighted that on December 31st, 2024, Plug Power has $3.35 billion of debt coming due. They don't have the money to pay this. They don't have the cash on hand to pay this. And so getting that $1.6 billion from the government will help refinance this debt. Plus, they raised an additional $1 billion you may have heard about a week ago through an agreement with B. Riley Securities to sell some of their stock to raise another $1 billion. So combined, that's $2.6 billion that Plug Power has raised in the last couple of weeks. That's a big, big benefit, a big risk reduction for the company. And I wouldn't be surprised when management reports earnings that they talk back that concern about going out of business now that they've secured that loan and made that stock sale for $1 billion, and the production is coming online, making the losses lesser in the next few quarters. So really good news here for Plug Power stock investors. I'm not surprised that the stock price increased as much as it did. Whenever you're on the cusp of going out of business, any step forward has a big, big benefit to the stock price because it reduces the going out of business risk. And when you're that close to the edge, every step forward you make away from the edge is a big boost in the stock price. This move wouldn't have been a big increase in the stock price for a company that's in a more stable position. It would have just been like, oh, okay, wonderful, great. It would have maybe caused the stock price to increase like 0.5% or something like that. But because Plug Power was so close to going out of business, and because the stock price was reflecting that risk of the company going out of business, this news reduces that risk. And anytime you reduce risk for a company, that increases the stock price, especially when the company's risk is already so large. So for those reasons, that's why Plug Power stock price is up today. And the primary reason the stock price is up is because of the term sheet agreement with the Department of Energy for the $1.6 billion. Thank you for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. I know there's a lot you could be doing with your time and a lot of other videos you could be watching. So I truly appreciate that you chose to watch this one. If you want to see more videos just like this, hit the subscribe or the like button. They'll both help me make more videos just like this one. Thank you again.